There's not a whole lot worse in this world than having some high hopes, being optimistic, just having that rug yanked out from underneath you. In a competitive buyer's market like this, or a seller's market rather, where you're competing against a lot of buyers, it's important that you and your agent have a solid strategy to go ahead and give you the best opportunity to succeed and get a house that you're looking for. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Reno Reed of the Reed team with Trout Realty here in beautiful Kansas City. Now, again, it's not been any secret the past couple years. This market has been extremely ridiculous, and especially so for people looking to buy a property. The sellers, they have it easy. There's not a whole lot of inventory. There's a ton of people trying to buy a house for a number of reasons, but that puts us buyers in a little bit more of a kind of head versus head against our other fellow buyers, right? It makes it really difficult in a lot of these instances when you have 10, 20, 30 offers to actually go ahead and win a house. Now, the good news is, this, as the year continues to kind of progress, not only has it been slowing down, but it's going to continue to kind of slow down. And that's going to give you a little bit better of a chance in general. There's a couple of different trends that I like to talk about, but I like to kind of tell you some of the things that we can do strategically to get us in a more competitive spot to win, experience less heartaches, and have more celebrations, right? So there's a couple different things. One of the things is that you can do an inspection waiver, an in its present condition addendum, which basically, there's a couple different ways to do it, but whenever this does happen, what I like to do is say, hey, we're still going to do the inspections, or we still have the right to. We understand that you're not going to make any changes, but if by some stretch of the imagination it's unsatisfactory to us, the inspections come back and there's just way more stuff than we want to deal with, we still reserve the right to back out. Okay? Now, what that does is obviously there's two different times that you can renegotiate during a contract. One of being after the inspection. So giving them one less opportunity for you to renegotiate a better deal for yourself does make you a little bit more competitive. If I have, as a seller, two offers that are the exact same, but one of them has the opportunity to renegotiate versus one not, I'm definitely going to go with the person, because it benefits me more, to go with the person who isn't going to renegotiate based off of the inspections. Alternatively, and this is one I don't personally like doing a lot, it's just not my kind of style, but you can do the same thing with an appraisal. So you can say, hey, if the bank comes out and says this property is not worth the loan amount that we're going to try to get, then typically you can renegotiate down to, the price that the bank says, because that's all the money that you can get, or you can go ahead and you can make up the difference. Now, the appraisal waivers can be a little tricky sometimes, especially if you're in a really kind of inflated area, right? So you don't want to necessarily be on the hook for, an extra $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Now that's an extreme example, obviously. But typically, you see people say, hey, if the house doesn't appraise, we'll go X amount over, whether it's, $3,000, $5,000, just to give you a little bit more kind of peace of mind, right? So again, both things being equal, this person doesn't have that. He has the opportunity to renegotiate. You still have the opportunity to renegotiate, but you're kind of guaranteeing them an extra up to $3,000 or $5,000. Obviously not to exceed your offer amount, because that would kind of be, it wouldn't be good for you, right? Now, the one thing that I like to do personally, the kind of in this market right now, to give us a little bit better shot, is look at houses that have sat a little bit. So as the year, last year has kind of gone by, a lot of these sellers have just seen, hey, these markets are crazy. People are getting way above what their house is worth. I'm just going to put my house on the market for some ridiculous number, and those houses sit for a while. Well, as they sit, your buyers, your prospective buyers are like, okay, well, what's wrong with this house? Why is this market's hot? Why is it still here? Right? So what I like to do is look at houses that have been on the market for at least a weekend, better a week, but at least the first weekend, because that's when a majority of the people are going to be getting in. It's when a majority of the interest is going to be, because most people do work Monday to Friday, right? So on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when they're going to get a lot of the actual foot traffic. right? So if it survived that first weekend, that first initial rush of people looking at it, that all of a sudden gives us a lot better opportunity because it's not as hot of a property. You theoretically, statistically, have a lot better chance to be the only offer as opposed to, one of 10, right? And so in these situations, it's not overly uncommon for us to potentially get you a deal under the list price, right? And if it's overpriced, of course you want that. But even if it's not overpriced, right, we can still potentially get you a better deal on the property. So that's one of the things that I always recommend to my clients. Now, if you're looking to buy, or you're looking to, have someone else that is looking to buy, I'd love to help kind of sit down with you, get down a really good strategic plan for us to go ahead and put you in the best home for you. Now, alternatively, sellers, there's also some strategy there as well. It's a little easier at the moment, but that's not always going to be the case. If you are potentially interested in selling now or in the future, I'd love to sit down with you as well, kind of talk about the strategy that we can do to go ahead and make it to where your house is on the market for as little time possible and getting the most amount of money that you possibly can, right? Now, while you're here, go ahead and like my Facebook page, leave a comment, leave a like on the video, follow me on YouTube, Instagram. There's going to be tons of information in the coming weeks that are going to help benefit you both now and in the future. All right, until then, see you next time.